Hey guys, welcome to Anitalk special episode. Today I'll be talking about the first episode of Gundam Build Fighters, and with me today I have two special guests. Anyone want to take the first introduction?
The VisibleNinja, newfound Gundam Meister.
And along with Highly Visible Ninja we have...
I am the cripple of personality, and in this world, there's only Wheelchair21.
And before anything else, I'd like to apologize that this episode will be will not have a actual video footage outside of maybe the little subtle footages I will put up from Build Fighter. Well, outside of the subtle footages I'll be putting in of Gundam Fighter every now and again, but yeah,
gotta love the copyright Nazis.
Yeah. Especially since most of Gundam's copyright, music-wise, comes from a certain company I'm not going to mention.
Bing.
But, yeah, so yeah, first and foremost, let's just get this out of the way. Yes, Gundam Build Fighter Episode 1 was amazing.
Amazing balls.
Yes. The introduction of the episode was done very well. We were introduced to, if I remember correctly, we weren't actually introduced to the main, we were introduced to the main character in his dream sequence.
Good old Sayori.
Yes, our main protagonist of the series, Sayori, Gunpla Otaku.
As he mysteriously sorties from the Albion in his seed-derived suit, which makes total sense.
Because, universal crossovers. Gotta love them.
And Seed. Gotta hate them.
Whoa!
Unless you're Japanese.
You mean Japanese?
Or you're a guy like me who actually kind of likes Seed, but okay, whatever.
Likewise, I do enjoy my Seed every now and again.
And
I will even add I do enjoy my Seed Destiny up until after he kills the Freedom.
I like putting my seed into women.
That is a documented fact, but anyways.
Anyways, we were introduced to Sayori in his dream sequence, and then not too long after that, we're introduced to our red-haired side protagonist, Reiji, or Rage, as some people like to call him for some odd reason.
Or he's just that magical alien from Yu-Gi-Oh! Fucking Zexal.
He's not astral.
He is so!
He's not astral because other people can see him.
Exactly.
I wish I could.
Hey man, he stole some bread. So yeah.
He's got balls.
For being an alien.
And he apparently does physically exist since people have interacted with him. So.
Well, listen, we cannot allow these illegal aliens to be in our animes. That's actually kind of funny since Reggie is described as being a foreigner. We just don't know where from.
Exactly. And not to mention, he's a new type.
And we, the people.
Yes, because good old Zeb and the real Americans here, they don't like them filthy new types from them space colonies. They're not real Americans.
Anyway, going on. Apparently, the series did we actually get where this series takes place in, or is it once again like Double O and Anno Domini?
It takes place next Sunday AD.
All I know is next Sunday AD, exactly.
Basically, it's quote the near future, and I'm assuming it's supposed to be like around Tokyo, I guess.
Pretty much. I'm gonna guesstimate it's at least 2040 maybe at the highest.
No, I meant like does it take? Did they say what the universe's name is? Like every Gundam series.
No. I think we're supposed to assume it takes place like in quote the real world.
Next Sunday AD.
Yeah, but in the near future, like say 20 years in the future.
It's a guesstimate of 20 to 40 years.
Yeah.
All right, makes sense.
Next Sunday AD.
Which is why we have the Pulaski particles, and
everything has to happen.
And all the 3D like imagery and the consoles and everything with the touch gestures kind of.
And one thing we're glad there is no traffic accident.
There will be traffic accidents. There's always traffic accidents.
Oh, of course.
Kind of like where I was gonna say. I actually thought that. Okay, we'll get into that in a minute when we talk about some of the other characters. But I thought that the show implied that Iori's father was dead, but then I rewatched it and it didn't do anything like that. And supplementary material says he's actually off, like, trekking the world, training himself to be a better Gunpla fighter.
Do you know this, Dad?
Do you know this man?
Have you seen this man in this picture? He's my brother!
But in this version, he's my father!
But apparently...
right in the kisser.
Well, hey, you know, he was able to get second runner-up in the second Gunpla Builders fighting tournament using an RX-78, so...
A slightly augmented RX-78.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm kind of surprised, because as Wheelchair mentioned before we went on the air, you'd think he'd be using some kind of weird, like, tricked-out RX-78, but it's really not. It's really just kind of like... It's really just a straight RX-78 that he probably just kind of customized for himself.
Removed all the seam lines. Did a straight color paint job. Strengthened its, reinforced its limbs.
That leads into something I'm sure we're going to discuss later, but I'll leave it for then. But yeah, you know, you got to give props for the guy for getting second place for an RX-78.
And then opening a shop in the middle of fucking nowhere.
There's probably a reason for that, because that's probably like his hometown, or you know, that's probably his that's probably his childhood dream or something, to open up a Gunpla shop in his like home neighborhood. I mean, even though he probably knows he'd do shit business, whereas if he like did it like set up in front of like a train station, or like in one of those challenge malls kind of things.
I mean, it like opens up the thing that I kind of wish would happen more, because when you have a hobby like this, it's very hard to go to stores to pick it up, and it's very hard to actually, and it's not very hard, but it's more expensive sometimes to order it to come to your house from a mailing site.
But thankfully, Barnes & Noble is starting to stock them, so.
Yeah. But moving on back on topic of the show, so far, just from the first episode alone, it looks like it's going to be great. The animation quality, you got to give it to Sunrise, like always. It's top notch. So far, watching the episode.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say it's roughly the same quality as the C and the C Destiny HD remasters, I think.
Yeah, of course. Watching the episodes twice so far. I didn't really notice any animation mishaps. You know, where a character might look derpy-eyed or have multiple fingers, which tends to happen a lot when you pay attention.
Good old animation errors.
Their mouth isn't close to their nose.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff you always fix in the Blu-ray disc, in the Blu-ray release. But yeah.
Yeah. Anything you guys picked out that you might have noticed that could have been mishap with the animation, or anything you might want to comment on so far?
I really didn't notice anything, honestly. Mind you, like I've watched it through about 3 times, and I didn't really notice any major animation errors. If there were any, they were probably very minor then, because I didn't notice any like missing like effects or like misdrawn anything. It looked pretty spang on.
I mean, if anything that gets noticed, it's more than likely just going to be like a color mess up. Wheels, any comments you have to say?
I just know that there was no real mess ups, except that some of the writing could have been a little bit better for the first episode. I mean, it was a really good episode. The writing so far is kind of what irked me in a sense, is like, because they randomly just have some giant tool bag that looks like he's either a transgender trap, even though you can tell he's obviously a guy, because why would girls be building gunplas?
Hey, do you actually know how big the female gunpla community is?
Only I know that it's only big because of Wing and Seed.
Not really, actual, kind of. One of my friends' girlfriends loves the Sandrock Gundam, but other than that, she's...
look, Wing! Win.
Oh,
one of my most of her favorite suits come from the Universal Century. She just loves the Sandrock.
Well, yeah, that's the thing when it comes to well, again, this is getting slightly off topic, but that's the thing when you look at American fans, most of them are going to favor either Wing or Seed suits, because those have been the two like really big like franchises over here. Again, it's not to say like you won't get guys who like the after-war suits or who like the correct century suits, right, or the advanced generation suits. It's not saying that. But when it comes to sheer popularity of the kits, let's just say there's a reason why if you go to a Barnes & Noble, odds are all you'll find are either unicorn or wing kits. Mostly Endless Waltz stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, because if you ask literally, if you were to walk down the street and ask any non-Asian looking American Gundam fan, they're more than likely going to say their favorite Gundam series is Wing. Just saying.
Sad but true.
And that's just because Wing was the first Gundam series. I mean, I'll have to admit, if they brought Mobile Suit Gundam, the very first Gundam series, as the first Gundam series to the States, I don't think Gundam would have been as popular as it is now in America.
Even though Wing sucks.
Questionably, yes. It does kind of, sort of, Getting back on topic again, because I don't mind getting off topic a little bit since...
It's gonna happen.
I mean, there's so much you could say about a 24-minute episode for a talk about it.
You mean his milf-ass mother that looks like his sister, his runaway dad that became Hohenheim meets Kyoji,
Don't get us started on his mother. Let's just
the fact that a Universal Century guy somehow exists in the...
Okay, yeah, we'll get to that in a minute, though.
We'll get to that, Wheels.
I just want to say, like, fan art of his mother appeared astonishingly quickly after the episode went up.
Rule number 34 for the win!
And most of them also emphasize her large bust, which, again, is not a surprise.
Rule number 34 for the win!
But yeah, apparently Rombarol exists in this universe.
Yeah, or Mr.
Raw.
It's still fucking Ramba Raw because he's fucking retarded.
And because he was carrying a goof kit, that's why.
Exactly. He came walking out of the Zeonic Isle carrying a goof kit.
Actually, it wasn't a Zeonic Isle because there was a fucking Wing Gundam on the shelf.
Well, everywhere you look at if you look up information on Mr. Raw, it's going to say stumbling his way out of the Zeon Isle.
Just like his wife.
Yeah. When I saw Mr. Rao come out of there, I was bawling because I was laughing so hard.
No, I was like, oh hey, it's Rubberall, so yeah.
I had to literally pause the video for a moment because I couldn't stop laughing my ass off seeing Rambo Rao walk his way out of there. It's like
I did 10 times worse. I stopped. I facepalmed. I looked back. I facepalmed. Kind of moved my head to the side, looked out the corner between my index finger and my thumb, shook my head back and forth, and was just like, get the fuck out. Why? Gundam Build Fighters, you're drunk. Go home.
Boy, your face must have been red, Wheels, after facepalming twice.
Like, I was just like, what the hell?
Another thing that I did notice was that I was just laughing so hard during Sei's Gunplow Taku level hitting 10. And that one scene before Mr. Gyan Pilot Kid decides to stumble in and be a jackass. And then completely destroy the Wing Gundam because Sei pilot that well.
Normally, I'd say the Gyan was, it is kind of one of the shittier mobile suits because for a couple of reasons. One, because it's mostly a melee-only suit, and, you just kind of get massacred in that usually. But, what's-her-face, actually did modify it a little bit, at least, I'll say that much.
He did do a good job modifying it, but not to mention
it pretty much extended to just turning the shield into, like, a yo-yo.
But that gave it some edge in the distance, and not to mention the shield has its beam weaponry itself.
That's true, but then again, Iori there, I'll say this much, Iori, I just built that kit. There's a beam saber in that shield. You could kind of pull it out and try to go melee to melee, or you could run like a bitch and only try to use your buster rifle like a noob.
Well,
and only get 3 shots out before you're like fucked.
Well, still, like even though it's 3 shots, it's 3 mega particle shots, and you could probably take out half the friggin' field with those 3 shots.
True. Not to mention though, Sei has very shit reaction time.
Sei's reaction time make Darkon look like a saint.
Well, yeah.
It really did.
Well, even Faye says
it made
himself.
Darkon's lag on Dynasty Warriors.
Well,
look
even,
like fucking
even...
ace levels.
Well, here's the thing, Here's the thing, Bills. Darkon's lag make Dynasty Warriors Gundam Online fun when you thought about it. Especially when he ended up being the host for some reason. You know, remember that Psycho Gundam fight I posted on YouTube?
Oh yeah.
You know what? Since I have the game, we should try that again one of these days.
We really should.
But anyways.
But yeah, it's just...
Yeah, but yeah, Say kind of got his... And it brings up another thing about these fights. Yeah, apparently if you use, your kits get thrashed to shit.
Yeah.
And and like I said before, I hope the Bandai of this universe is really set up for those replacement part kits, because they're going to make a killing.
Listen, Bandai, if you had a replacement part set already, I would just be custom ordering shit so I could make my own fucking Gundam, thank you.
They do for Japan only.
Ah!
And you have to send in the request form that's in the instruction manual for your model kits.
It's because you have to circle what you need to replace.
Well, not circle. You have to write down the plate that you need to replace.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna move to Japan for a year and just be doing that, and then making my own custom build and be like.
But yeah, Say he's a master at building kits, just not so good at fighting with them. I mean, the thing that makes the thing that I'm always laughing at is when you see the build strike, it's like, so what did he use to make it, or did he literally custom build some of those parts, like the
if my dog will, quiet down for a minute. But what I've seen, he basically took your standard Ale Strike kit, and I think he actually took parts from the Striker pack and he used it to augment certain parts of the body,
like the shoulder,
the shoulders. I think he cannibalized some parts of the Ale Striker pack, and same thing with the head, how it's just a little bit different, it has that extra spine there.
Yeah.
Or he might, or then again, he might have taken multiple strike kits and kit bashed some parts from each other.
That too, but looking at a lot of the plates, I think he made the shoulder armor out of plot plating, and
he probably could have. We've seen
he's known to be a whiz at building
that's
model
the thing.
kits.
Yeah, he's an expert builder, so it wouldn't surprise me. That's probably he could probably do that very easily.
But getting off of Say now and moving on to another character, let's talk about Reiji. Wheels, you're on.
So, Astral, you weird fucking bastard. How did you get corporeal? How can people see you? Why do you have red hair? And why are you a goddamn thief? And why are you illegal alien? For we, the people. You coming down here, wanting our bread, wanting to see our world, don't know what this soda pop is? What kind of international illegal alien are ye? Huh?
I laughed at the soda pop team.
Well, funny thing is, there's already been some fanfares floating around, and one of them is that Reiji is actually a disciple of Iori's father, who he's sent back to, kind of keep Iori company and kind of,
Oh, and kind of actually tell his son how.
Kind of actually tutor him, give him self-esteem and stuff.
And tell him how big of a fuck-up you are to me as a child, so I adopted this guy to replace you, and to possibly
he's just keep tabs, make sure he's safe, be there, if anybody needs him, since, he's not there, that kind of thing.
And gives him a magical anal bead that glows whenever he needs to call him.
And apparently, yeah. Well, that's the thing. It would kind of explain Reiji's Gundam fight skills, because once he got the feel for the strike, he was able to obliterate that guy.
Yeah, so he's
with just a beam saber.
Well, yeah, but then again, Seiji didn't exactly finish the build strike yet, so it only had that or the Vulcans, I think. So
exactly, he only had he didn't have the beam gun, he didn't have the beam rifle done, he doesn't have the shield done, and he doesn't have the full boost pack done.
He's a failure as a builder and a fighter.
Well, in fairness, he did throw an unfinished kit in there, mind you. That we was still able to beat a Guyan though. So.
Not to mention, when you're scratch building stuff, you do not know how difficult scratch building is.
Hey, guess what? It doesn't
scratch
matter.
Building can take a week.
You know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I could still beat that fucker and use something that wasn't called a awesome thing called a strike. I could have beat that guy by just putting together a Zaku tank.
Zaku tank.
Oh, I'm like hearing everyone laughing right now.
You know what? I could have beaten that guy without a fucking cannon. I would have just beat it with its arms.
Okay, a Gundam tank, maybe. Zaku tank.
A gun tank, maybe, but a Zaku tank. No offense, Wheels.
No, that leads us...
Dynasty Warriors, I can do it in the real world.
No, but that kind of leads us into another part, because the sheer amount of cameos from like a bunch of actual like gun like suits in this series has been insane so far. This is just the first episode. Like we've seen like a bunch of different variants. Like we've seen Zaku's, the concert Zaku from like Sea Destiny, the Gundam tank, not the gun tank, the Gundam tank. Like, all sorts of high grade kits, master grades, perfect grades, painting supplies. It's just insane. And even in that commercial for the World Gundam fight, you had like the fucking lumber Gundams, you had the Freedom, you had the unique red wing Gundam.
Well, Metal, what did you think when you saw the lumber Gundam?
I actually didn't catch it the first time. I actually only caught it on the second time. Like, oh shit, that's the lumber Gundam. Yay, Neo Canada.
I was bawling when I saw the lumber Gundam. I'm like, oh my god, where's Argo Gulski now?
Figuring out, what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, all the cameos that we saw.
And future episodes are going to be even more, especially maybe once they get to the tournament.
I know. I just can't wait to see the Gundam X Mao in action now.
I just can't wait
I'm a big fan of the Gundam X.
Illegal Gundam show up when we find out that the Psycho Gundam is probably like the world champion's, mobile suit, and it's illegalized.
I was going to say, the high grade for the thing is friggin' massive. So
it is. I mean, the one more than likely, like I said, it's probably not legal for someone to use.
I'm gonna say, there's
something that the Federation will throw in there.
I'm gonna say there's probably rules like no like I'm sure they can bend it because we saw the Messala in there, but there's probably a rule. But the Messala is big, but it's not huge. Mm-hmm. There's probably rule like no mobile armors, like no like Newell Zeals and no big Zams, that kind of thing.
Well, there is the only 1/144 mobile armor there is the Psycho Gundam.
Well, no, I was just saying that wouldn't stop somebody from scratch building something in the similar scale, but I'm guessing that again there's probably rules against that. Like no
no full scratch build, it has to be something custom from an actual
it either has to be a stock kit or it has to be like a customized or derived from a stock kit.
Yeah, no full-on scratch build, because then someone could scratch build the, oh my god, what was the mobile armor that Divine Divine used in the, not Divine, I forgot his name, the jackass in the I almost said a new translation again, Awakening of the Trailblazer, Mr. Useless.
Oh yeah.
The guy who was there just to show, other innovators. Yeah, that thing.
Yeah. With all its fangs, yeah.
Yeah, that thing. Because someone can bring that, wreck everything.
Which brings us to, again, this is a topic Wheelchair21 brought up during our little pre-discussion, but like do parts you put on there like affect the suit? Like, can you just stick like a GN driver on like a frickin' say a Death Scythe helm? Does it suddenly get it suddenly go Trans Am or something?
I think it more than likely has to be integrated properly, because otherwise it'll be just like when Mr. Bushido put the GN drive on his oh god, I'm going brain dead on a lot of these mobile suits names. The flag, and almost killed himself at the end of 00 Season 1.
Yeah, but then later they'd improve and they'd actually have GN flags. And
I was my stupid ass was only saying I want to just put a Reborn's or a 1.5 Gundam from 00's arm onto a mobile suit. I was just trying to mod that because.
And don't forget, you're talking about doing something with the thrones too, right?
I was just
You're working with already GN capable mobile suits. Trying to retrofit something onto a non-GN GN capable mobile suit is the main thing right there. Excuse me. But back onto the show real quick again. I'm just trying to now see how this show is going to progress, because the one major thing that I'm confused on is, and I mentioned this before we started recording, on Wikipedia itself, it doesn't give you an episode count, but when you then look onto the Gundam Wiki for the Gundam Build Fighters series, it says it's going to be 12 episodes long. Is that if that's not a placeholder that they're just putting there until we find out actually if it's going to be 12, 24, 36, or 40 or 48 episodes long, how is this series going to flow in only 12 episodes?
Well, next episode we know we're getting our main rival, who's kind of the Char stand-in, so...
Who's voiced by Kai Toshiki from Card Fight Vanguard.
Of course.
You mean he is a Char?
I get the feeling that the next we know the next episode we're going to be looking more at Sei's school, so we're going to be introduced to the girl that's going to eventually Gunpla build and join up.
Yeah, she'll be piloting the Gundam X Mao.
Mao, yeah. And we're also, like I said, getting our main rival who's going to be piloting the Zaku Amazing for at least the first little bit. So, and then from there we know we're going to see some other ones, like an Italian one that pilots the wing Fennis, and then some like weird bubbly female that's going to have the Bear Guy 3. So,
yep. The Bear Guy Unit 3. This has to be in the same universe as Gunpla Builder Beginnings G. if we have the Bear Guy Unit 3 in it. Or something, because the stupid thing was the Bear Guy wasn't even an actual mobile suit in Gunpla Builder's Beginning G. It was actually an act guy that the girl put a bonnet on it with bear ears and called it a Bear Guy, and then modded it into a Bear Guy when she got better.
And now we've got another one that looks more like a bear than anything.
It looks more like a teddy bear.
With
a more cuddly teddy bear
even with a little red,
Bear Guy.
Even with a red bow on its back. And of course a gun in its mouth.
Oh, I can't wait to see this thing in action.
It's going to be interesting though, because pretty much all anime these days is broken down into 12 or 13 episode seasons, and they seem to manage. So I'm just saying the next couple episodes are probably just going to be character introduction as well as world building. Then after that, I'm sure we're going to get down to like the typical kind of tournament kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and not to mention, Reiji's coming to school.
Reiji!
Oh, this is going to be... I don't even know where this is going to go.
In the gutter.
It's going to go somewhere stupid. Because, hijinks are going to ensue with Reiji probably not knowing what school is.
Especially with the Japanese system. It's going to be kind of...
Because he's either going to be a full-blown alien which doesn't know anything about Earth customs, so what's school? Or he's just going to be the typical foreigner not knowing how a Japanese school system works.
Well, he has to have some ideas because he knows what a shop is.
True.
And he knows what food is.
True.
But yeah, he doesn't realize, storefront sales. Oh, you gotta pay for that. What? Ooh, what's this? It's called soda pop. I love it. Even though that was one really, really weird looking soda pop, even for a Japanese vending machine, because it's apparently the soda pop was called a level red or something.
Not to be confused with Code Red.
We don't know. It's going to be interesting, though, regardless, for Reggie at his school.
I just want to see how exactly... Is next episode going to be when they implement the full boost pack, or is it going to be the following episode?
I think he's going to take an ass whooping in this next episode.
I'm guessing it'll either be this episode or the next one, because we know that we're going to get the Zaku Amazing with the Amazing booster in the next episode. So it
more likely...
Yeah.
It might be what Wheels says. More than likely, Reiji and Sei are gonna get their ass whooped in this fight, and seeing the Amazing booster is gonna be what pushes what pushes Seiji to making what pushes Sei to making the full booster. I just want to see though where it's gonna lead from there. Like what is the next upgrade to the Build Strike gonna be? Because we also know we're getting the Build Gundam Mark II,
which I've already seen, and it actually looks pretty badass. So.
Oh yeah, I love that thing. It looks like the Gundam Mark II.
But they've modified it, and it carries two huge under the arm guns that are connected right to the backpack.
Yeah, because the backpack kind of looks like it's modified from the, what was it, the G... Oh god, I forgot what that stupid thing was called. The thing that combines with it to make the Super Gundam.
Oh yeah,
Yarzen killed that kid.
It's true.
No, but I'm saying it looks like model.
It's the stuff that combines with the Mark II to make the Super Gundam. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like a heavily modified version of that, which looks awesome. We know we know about the Fenris. We know about all this other stuff. And are we gonna get? Is something gonna happen?
Oh, I was gonna say, don't forget about the Sengoku Astray.
Yeah, the Sengoku Astray. Is something gonna happen? Yeah. Is something gonna happen halfway down through the series, like at episode 6 or 7? Or 8 or 9, if it is going to be a 12-episode long series, or if it does continue on halfway through the series, once we get near the 30s, where the Build Strike gets destroyed, or the Amazing Booster gets destroyed, and he has to upgrade it to the Build Freedom, or whatever.
Maybe, yeah, that's the thing. In this day and age, we're going to see it in, like, prototype kit form long before the episode airs. And so far, we more or less, we've seen the kits more or less through, say, January. Although January is still full of a lot of holes that are probably going to get plugged pretty soon, but so far,
like what she said.
But so far, like of all the Build Fighter kits, none of them are an upgrade to the Build Strike as of yet. So it's not to say. So that's what I'm saying. It'll either be an end game kind of thing, or God willing, it might be a season 2 thing.
Because we all know holes will get plugged next Sunday, AD.
I'm just hoping that it's not what I said, and like some sort of Build Freedom, and that it's actually a mecha from another series altogether.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna magically pull Gao Gaigar out of our ass.
Well, I mean from another Gundam series.
Well, you should have been more blunt on that one.
Well, I kind of get what you're saying too, because it'll probably rip it down. It'll probably keep some elements. Like, try to keep maybe some of the strike in there, but it'll definitely probably rebuild it. Like, we're assuming it'll probably have freedom-like wings, and one might not necessarily. He might go for something more like the Infinite Justice, maybe.
Well,
or he might go for, like, a Dragoon system, like the Providence or the Legend, so...
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was about to say, because technically speaking, the Build Strike is basically taking the freedom and the strike and mixing their two best aspects.
Yeah.
So the next thing would be, if it's not the Build Strike that gets destroyed, but it's the full boost pack that gets destroyed, it might be an upgrade to the full boost pack to make it more like the Strike Freedoms backpack, giving it the Dragoon system.
Yeah.
Well, Super Dragoon system, I should say.
Or we would not even give a crap.
Or you could just, stick a Trans Am system in there. There you go.
That too.
Or, again, we don't know. He might... we really don't know, what way it's going to go. For all we know, he's going to decide, I'm going to stick a Trans Am system in there. Oh, I want to stick the Zero system in there. Oh, I don't know. I want to give it the twin Buster rifles, but I also want it to have Trans Am. But I also want it to have the Hyper Satellite Cannon. So...
Oh God! Could you imagine if he puts Trans Am, the Zero system in there, along with Destiny's Wings of Light or Strike Freedom's Super Dragoons?
That would be interesting.
It would be great.
That would be a terrifying mashup of, oh my God, what the fuckness.
That would be great.
What?
They just magically give him the ultimate power of the fucking Shining Finger and just ended it all with that.
Or plot, or just, well, no, he already has plot armor and plot convenience on his side.
Well, again, we don't know that. Who knows? Maybe he will put in a hyper mode, like the God Gundam or something. So he opens up and he goes into destroy mode, but then he gets all golden and then he does some super shining Buster Dragoon finger.
You actually just made me think of something now.
I really hope you're all just smoking crack. Let's just end this show.
Yeah, well, before they metal, you just made me think of something. I actually hope that this series actually gives, Gundams that were never actually seen in the series, mobile suits and Gundams that were never actually seen in the series, only seen in, the variations and the comics.
It's kind of already happening, because the Zaku Amazing is based on the Zaku High Mobility type, which is in MSVR.
And also, they did show something from the series that the Geminosis is from, that purple thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, I'm hoping that we may get a chance to see the Gundam Unicorn Unit 3 Phoenix.
Oh, you and your Phoenix.
What a pussy.
Listen, it's not our fault that they're only putting that kid out at Gundam Front Tokyo.
Don't remind me. Alright, let's end this here now.
Okay.
So, this is GundamLegacyExtreme signing out. Go check out Highly Visible Ninja's YouTube channel and Wheelchair21's YouTube channels. Links will be down in the description below, as always. And go check out Herotaku. Links will also be down in the description. Anything you guys want to say before I close out?
Check out Ultracast on Radio Nihon. It's full of great stuff. Me and Wheelchair are on there, along with some very nice ladies, and we talk about Ultraman and the like, so yeah.
Wheels?
All I have to say is this. This hand of mine shines with an awesome power. Its loud roar tells me to grasp victory.
Alright, everyone. Peace.